Good morning, Ledyard High School Wind Orchestra. I'd like to welcome you to the stage today for your performance here at World Strides on-stage programs. My name's James Odell. I'm from the Boston Conservatory. I'm looking forward to hearing your program and giving you comments as you perform today. I do hope you find my comments useful as you continue your good work throughout this year and beyond. And I also want to just wish you the very best possible performance today here in Toronto.
He is the Associate Dean of Academic Operations at the Boston Conservatory, and he is the Director of Concourse Bands.
And I'm looking forward to hearing your repertoire today, high school cadets, the Sousa, and then your reorchestration and slight reorchestrations of this first suite in E flat by Holst. So I want to, again, just best possible performance today. And I also hope that your tour up here to Toronto has been and will continue to be educational and fulfilling, and of course
representation of conservatories from the East Coast. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you.
That your tour really is going to have a great time seeing Montreal and exploring. So, okay. So good luck today.
Follow that immediately with the Holst, or shall I wait? Okay, so we'll follow that immediately with the Holst suite.
Okay, very good. High school cadets. All right, here we go. Okay, good start here. Thank you for the dynamic contrast. So clearly you're working with smaller numbers here, but we got a pretty good job. Really got to pay more attention to our balance, balance your requirements here especially. Percussion is a little loud for this size ensemble. Bass drum you can back off a little bit, timpani as well, and especially on the crescendo. Make sure we're hearing that good three-part harmony. We're getting plenty of first part, right? Getting plenty of first clarinet, first flute, not as much actually, but it's those inner voices we want, okay? So really finding those out. Also wherever you perform, whether it's here in this auditorium, nice dynamics again, or if you're in your home school auditorium, or if you play in other venues in your town or in the region, we always have to make adjustments in the acoustics of the venue. So I really want you to do always letting the ears work on that. Yeah, let's do a little bit more contrast here, I think. The trio should be so much different in style and character than the first couple stanzas. So more connection, right? You tend to lose leave the last note pretty abruptly here on the trio. That half note that's tied from the whole note in bar 65-66, you're ending that like a quarter note, and it's quite short. pretty good job of keeping the electric bass in control, and I do appreciate that. I didn't feel like that was too overpowering. Because of your numbers, what I am missing is the harmonic moments. I'm hearing, melody is fine, and the bottom is fine, I think, but I'm not really hearing those opportunities to hear some of those nice, rich, three-note voicings. So we work harder on that. Okay, strong beginning here. It's a little loud for piano. Yeah, I really appreciate, the reorchestration here so that you're taking the original to fit your instrumentation. There's some nice moments. Really got to be careful the way we end a phrase. We're leaping off that last note. We need to work for a much better connection there so that the last note of the phrase has resonance to it. Tempo gets a little fast here, If you check the recording, it feels like you're at a faster clip here than you were at the beginning. So, if that's intentional, that's fine, but it's not written that way in the score. Again, percussion is a little strong. Now here the electric bass is a little strong as well. There's these magnificent harmonic moments in the low brass accompaniment here. Yeah, that's a good reharmonization. That works. Remember, moving lines, very important here, how that weave works back and forth. Not only the clarinet 1, but the relationship of how that eighth note gets passed around between clarinet 1 and clarinet 2. That was a better release there. You really went to beat 3 there, and I appreciated that. The little trade-off of the triplet here in measure 65, that should be a little more delicate here. And I really want to hear after I make my triplet statement when I come to the long note that I relax that note a little bit so that the triplet underneath that can be heard. Yeah, we need softer here on the bass and the tuba here. That's a nice quality of tone, first trombone. Keep your breath support up. Better posture will help that. I would start this section softer and watch your crescendo. It needs to really be controlled here. That's a nice climax. Your intonation is pretty good there. I do also appreciate very much, there's a lot of body language going on, and that shows, they're really engaged in the musical moments and the phrasing. Yeah, nice transition there. Good attention to the articulation here and the nice light staccato. Yeah, breath management here is always going to be a concern. Watch again. Well, we letter A on the concert. C, clarinet, flute, and second clarinet and flute especially. Yeah, well, careful again. Crescendoing is you just have very few voices here. So when you start a tutti rhythm and crescendo, like the 8th notes, 4 notes before B, we're going to lose those ascending 16th notes. So much more attention to the balance there. Play on the syncopation here. Let's make this more connected here. Yeah, this can be much more legato and sweetly singing. La-dee, big connection lines. Yeah, tends to rush and it's a little beat heavy here. You know, a nice way to, even though we're going to be lo stesso tempo here, you can feel it in a 2, even though we're getting in 4. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That'll, I think, really help it flow more. Nice transition back to the 2/4. Yeah, good. Again, you've done a nice job of the reorchestration here to work for the group, and I do appreciate it. Oh, tenor, that's got to be much more round here. That's a tough line to play there. It works for the trombone, but it's tough for tenor. And let's make sure that we're hearing all those little moments where we get little fragments that come back in and out. Diddle-diddle-dee-dut, diddle-diddle-dee-dut. Yeah. Nice snare playing. Really nice. Good attention to the accents. This is a little, this is hard because we're not getting the call and response here as clearly. And I think that, again, is just because of the orchestration. But again, you've done a nice job of getting the... Let this be connective. Phrasing, are we all going to breathe there, but at the end of the 8th bars? Yeah, breathe together. Really, really important in clarinets that we're phrasing this exactly the same. Here too, the bass line can rise and fall with the melody. It can be a part of helping the melody shape and build the peaks in the valley of the phrase. So we really have an opportunity rather than just 1, 2, bum, same volume, same pressure all the time. Good dynamic change there. Not to rush. Yeah, it's rushing in these little fragments. Everybody's got to be careful. Don't overblow. we're losing good balance here. Part of it is, just the hall, I think, and just a little bit too loud of everything. Yeah, pretty good intonation. And again, phrasing together. Seems like that interpretation of putting the brakes on so fast kind of slows down the momentum of the piece. And clearly that's a stylistic choice, obviously, but maybe if you're going to do that, maybe just putting the brakes on a little less so we don't lose the momentum. Thank you for coming to play today. And as I said earlier, I do really appreciate your taking the time and attention to play this great music, but yet making sure that you've got the parts covered. Not a lot of directors pay that much attention to that type of requirement. So I do appreciate that very much. Thank you.